Hey, hey, hey. You guys ready for another episode of Jason's Garage? I'm doing it again. I'm recording on YouTube. And right now, I'm starting the podcast right now. I'm simulcasting YouTube and podcast tonight. Got a bunch of stuff I really want to talk about. Mainly, first thing up first is like my podcast has had a lot of listeners, and I really want to thank you guys for that. Keep up the good work. I hope what you're listening to is worth listening to, that's for sure. I could really use somebody to record some voice messages and let me know what's going on for sure. But yeah, that would be awesome if you could do that. So I got a lot of information for, the up and coming mechanics / technicians. I want to get it out there. I want to help you guys, and you can do your due diligence and help me by recommending, what you want to hear about. I'm not trying to get rich doing this. I just want to help you guys out, but if you'll send messages and stuff like that, it would help me out a lot to at least pay for my recording equipment, which I don't have that much in it anyway. I mean, I'm doing this video on my phone, so yeah, I'm low key, and that's how I'm going to keep it. So first things first, my YouTube channel I've got a couple things on there. I got a couple goofy videos on there too. Some fun stuff I just made, just playing around with the video editor, which I don't use for these videos, but I should. But maybe I will once I get time. I work full time, so it's kind of a pain in my butt. But anyway, my YouTube channel is Jason's Garage Inc. You'll find it. You can see this ugly face on there somewhere. Won't be hard to find. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking my YouTube stuff. You guys are all great. All right. Versatility. You want to be as versatile as you can being a technician, because you want to be able to work on all makes, all models, old stuff, new stuff, trailers, RVs, boats. People are going to bring you stuff. If you do them good on their car, they're going to bring you everything. So be prepared to work on everything. If you're getting to work on everything, they're trusting you with it, especially the boat. Like, boats are usually guys, that's their babies, and gals too. So yeah, I'll go over some more boat stuff and some more RV stuff as we go along. But be prepared, especially if you work in an independent garage. These people are going to bring you some weird stuff, but be prepared. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. But be prepared for. Turn that speaker. Sorry. Yeah, be prepared and be ready to be versatile. This day and age, you have to be versatile. So get ready for that. What's the difference between the import cars and the domestic cars? Nowadays, really nothing. I mean, they all have the same kind of equipment. They all take the same kind of maintenance. They all got tires. They all got oil. There's really not much difference in them anymore. When I was first coming in, there was a lot different. And that's what, I think that's what helped me come as far as I did. So yeah, you got to be versatile. You got to have an open mind. Say, hey, I'll try it. Don't tell them I don't know how to do it right off the rip. Say, well, let me look at it, and I'll see if I feel comfortable messing with it or not. So, and then, yeah, just be ready to be versatile. Work on anything. That's what I do. You need to pay attention to detail. Especially at this day and age with COVID-19 stuff, you guys need to be safe. When I go to get in a car, I've got gloves on. I take a seat cover out, a floor mat. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I mean, you can cover the seat up with a trash bag and throw a piece of cardboard on the floor. Just keep from getting your muddy footprints and salt footprints in people's cars and making a mess. And then, when you get done with the car, don't leave no grease handprints. Check where you put your elbow on the armrest and the console and the hood where you close it, the doors where you've been around it, the fenders you've been on around it. Always use fender covers if you can. But if you leave a mess, wipe that stuff off, man, because that makes people mad when you mess up their car. Like you would be mad if they messed up your car. So let's try and keep that definitely to a minimum. Let's get that stuff cleaned up. Make sure everybody's happy. Another thing this time of year, man, you can go the extra mile. Clean their windshield. Windshields are always a mess. It takes you 30 seconds. Clean your windshield. If you spray it down with a rag or whatever, or maybe you got one of the, like the gas station, the washer things, the little squeegee man, you wouldn't believe how many cakes and cookies I've got over the years just by doing stuff like that. Especially this time of year, people love to give you sweet stuff. That's why I'm robust. So yeah, just pay attention to the details and keep the customers' cars clean. Keep yourself safe. And then next thing, I'm trying to look at my list, and I got chicken scratch and I can't read it. My grandma said I should have been a doctor because my writing's horrible. Anyway, yeah, pay attention to detail. Another major thing you want to do is start getting used to documentation. And I mean writing down everything you did to the car. You could say, went out to the parking lot, walked around the car, everything looks good, or hey, left rear tire's flat, write it down. Everything you can document is, one thing, it helps you to not forget what you're doing, but then when you go to explain to the customer, all the work that you want to do to their car that they need to have done, you want to be able to explain that to them in detail, and you want to, document it and have your, service writer, document it in the ticket when you're done. So you want to have good documentation. You want to have good information, so you have a good history on that car of what's been going on with it. Because you may have a intermittent electrical problem that you're fighting on that car, and it comes in like 2 or 3 times for the cigarette lighter not working. Well, they plugged something in it wrong, or overloaded it with 9 different things plugged in a bunch of splitters. But the 4th times it comes in, you might think, man, I've been doing this a lot. There's got to be something else wrong with this circuit. So that way you've got a history of, it blew the fuse 3 times and I never could find anything wrong with it. Well, this time we're going to delve into it, and you're going to ask the customer for some diagnostic time, because it's been in 4 times for the same thing. Something's got to be going on, or they're not telling you the whole story. Like I said, they're running a microwave off that thing or something. Who knows? But still, you'll have good documentation. You'll be able to remember what you need to do to the car, and what you want to do to the car, what you want to let the customer know in the future, what it's going to need. Yeah, documentation is a big thing. And when like you're doing warranty work, or mainly just warranty work or insurance work, they want every detail. And if you leave anything out, and they say, well, we're going to pay X amount of dollars, and then this is it, because if we go $1 over this, it's totaled. So you get in there and you find a bunch of other stuff wrong. Well, you better have documentation to back that up. That, hey, I checked this part before. I started taking A part apart, and then discovered that B part is broken because I couldn't see B because A was in the way. So your documentation, that's a big, you got to have it. You got to have it to be successful. And you're doing the customer a good service doing that. So, do your inspections well. If you've got a check sheet, check everything on that sheet. I mean, everything. Don't forget one thing. And a lot of states have safety inspections and emissions testing and stuff. You have to make sure you pay attention to those sheets. And believe it or not, if you pay attention to those sheets, they will help you make money, because you're going to find, maintenance items that need to be done. You're going to find other repairs that need to be done. Pay attention to those sheets. Test drive the vehicle, especially if you're doing suspension work or drivability work or brake work, because you want to know exactly what that car is doing. If the customer comes in saying it has a vibration, they really can't explain to you when exactly it happens. Usually they can, but you want to know if that's a brake problem, a tire problem, a driveline problem, an engine miss. It could be so many different things. So you need to go drive it. Make sure you duplicate the problem before you get it in the shop. Yeah, test drives are very important. I already went over floor mats and seat belts. Be a careful driver when you're in the customer's car. You don't want to wreck the customer's car. You don't want to back it into another customer's car, which I've seen happen before. I don't think I did, but I know I backed one through a garage door by accident one time. That wasn't pretty. At the shop. It was an accident, but still, it happened. Yeah, you want to be a careful driver. Look back 2 or 3 times when you're going. Don't assume that everything's coast is clear. You just never know, and people come flying through your parking lot sometimes and about run into you anyway. So yeah, just pay extra attention. Take it slow and easy. Just be careful with the customer's car. Yeah, and I went over. All right, sorry. So, yeah, that's about all my notes for the night I want to go over. But I'm probably just going to start rambling. But I come from humble beginnings. Like I said, I barely made it out of high school. My parents and my grandparents who raised me had old junky cars, so I got a lot of experience working on those as a young man. Go buy an old engine, or go buy an old car, or an old motorcycle, or a lawnmower, and just take it apart. Even if you can't fix it or it's broke, if you just take it apart, you'll learn something. I guarantee you. I learn something every day, and I teach stuff every day. Like I'm lucky. I've got a younger guy at my shop that I'm helping him. He's helping me. He worked on a lot of the heavy truck stuff that we do now, and he's never really done hardly anything with an automobile. So I'm trying to, every time I do something, like today I was doing some evaporative emissions work, and I was trying to explain to him the gist of how it worked, which it's very complicated. You won't learn it in 5 minutes. And I told him that, and he was starting giggling, but he'll pick it up. He's really smart. And that's the one nice thing about when you're young is like you retain this stuff a lot better than when you get my age, believe me. And that's why I want to get it passed on to the guys that are up and coming now. Maybe some of the older guys, I'll click something in their brain, and I'm hoping they'll click something in my brain, because my memory is horrible anymore. So, but it's fun for me to teach, and I like goofing around and cutting up, and I don't like being a stick in the mud, and it just makes the job bad. So I just goof. I mean, you can ask my friends. I do some crazy stuff at work just out of the blue, because you've got to break the monotony up, because it's a stressful job anyway, because it's a very important job to the customers. And so yeah, you got to learn how to have fun with it. I mean, it is a serious job. You have to take it seriously, but then on the other side, you have to be able to goof off a little bit, at least at lunchtime or on your break or whatever. Bathroom break, mess around. But it's going to be fun. I'm really excited about doing this. I'm going to try and do, maybe a video 2 or a week. I'm trying to do a podcast every day. I didn't do one yesterday, and my listens like doubled yesterday. I'm like, oh man, I probably should have did a podcast, but we're doing this one tonight, so everybody should be happy. Yeah, if you guys want to leave me any feedback whatsoever, good or bad, don't be afraid to let me know that I need to change something. I know I need a better studio, because this garage is just gross, but it's my garage. I've made a lot of money working out here on the weekends, and build a couple race cars in here, and so it's been fun times back in the day. I'll have to give you some racing stories one of these days when I'm really bored, and you're really bored, because frankly they're not boring, but they're just monotonous, because it was bracket racing. But we had a hell of a time doing it. So, and I learned a lot of stuff about engines. I really learned how to break them. but I learned how to fix them because I broke them all the time. So, but hey, I appreciate you guys. You know, have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Go fix something.